last time, we were at constant forces. So meaning that the net force is constant. Okay? So you have the sum F equals MA. And we require that this is constant. So if this is constant, if the net force is constant, that means that the acceleration must be constant. So from here, we derive the two types of kinematics. Straight line, uniform motion. Actually, three types, no? Three types of kinematics. The straight, uniformly accelerated motion in a straight line. And then the projectile motion. And of course, the uniform velocity motion. Which is, asa dito ang uniform velocity? The x component of the parabola, di ba? It's a uniform. So the parabola is composed of two types of motion. On the y, it's a uniformly accelerated motion. On the x, it's a uniform velocity motion or just uniform motion. So now we are still at the constant forces, but our focus would be here, would be on the right-hand side. Okay? So if this is the particle, and there's a net force going here, the net force, F net, the net, it could be that there are many forces. In fact, it's most probably that there are infinite, or there are so many forces acting here, no? Pwede pa na dito, some are, okay? So this particle is being acted upon by many forces. So in the last meeting, we did not care about this. Okay? And I think I've said that we don't care about this. It could be that that some of these forces are non-constant. Only that whether some of the forces are non-constant, as long as their net force is constant, then that's what we want. Okay, but now we focus on this side, right, the left-hand side, the forces, the identification of forces. And now we require that each of these forces, well, maybe some are still non-constant. Okay? So, but just, we want now to analyze a system that is acted upon by different forces. So that's what we want. Okay? So, for example, this body right here, with the mass M lying on the floor, just like kana diha, or just like that camera there, it's still. Okay? So, meaning the net force is constant, right? And that constant is 0. Okay? A net force of 0 is still part of a constant forces. Because 0 is a constant. Okay? But it doesn't mean that there are no forces acting on that. In fact, right here, we know that this force right here is the mg. So, since this is constant, since this does not accelerate, there's no acceleration, it's in static equilibrium. Okay? Then there must be a force acting upwards. Okay? Countering this. Okay? And let's call that N. We call this the normal force. And can we solve N from this diagram here? And yes, the answer is using Newton's laws. Summation of forces. And what axis are we solving the net force? Because remember that summation of forces has two components. Summation of forces along X plus summation of forces along Y. Okay? That means if we are in 2 dimensions, we have to solve the forces in 2 axes. If we are in 3 dimensions, sa 3 axes. Okay? So here, we are solving along Y. We don't care about the X. So summation of forces. Okay, I may not put Y because this is just only one axis, but for the sake of, I'll just put Y here. Summation of forces along Y. Now, forces upwards are usually considered, by convention, positive, and downwards are negative. You can reverse that. Okay? Depende na sa imo. But of course, let's just follow the standard way of doing this. So on the upward force, meaning here, what you will do is identify all the forces acting. Okay? So what could be those forces? Upward, or let's get the most obvious one, the weight. The weight is moving downward. So this is minus W, right? Okay? Or, okay. And then upward is N, so plus N. And what is the net force? That is the next thing that you would, after identifying all the forces, imong ko anon karon, what is now the net force? Is it equilibrium or not in equilibrium? Okay, in this case, the system, the mass, the block of mass is at rest, meaning that the system is in equilibrium. That means that this is 0. From here, we can calculate N to be equal to the weight or just mg. Okay, meaning that the weight has, the normal force has to be equal to the, in magnitude with the weight. Now, this normal force is what we call, it's a normal force because the direction is normal to the surface. When we say normal to the surface or normal to something, that means perpendicular. It's a much more technical way of saying perpendicular. Okay? Well, it could mean some other things in mathematics, but at least in the basic level, normal usually means perpendicular to a certain something. Okay? It's always perpendicular to the surface. Okay? The weight is always directed towards the ground. And always, okay, take note of this. The weight is always directed perpendicular to the ground, towards the center of the earth. Okay? So it's always perpendicular to the ground. If the ground is said to be this is the ground, then of course the normal force is, of course you could not find problem that the ground is gipana, no? Maybe for if you're really working on a sphere, you need to note about the, it can be this way. But usually the ground is horizontal. Okay? So it's always perpendicular to the ground. That's the weight. And the normal force is perpendicular to the surface. Now, this right here, if I'm going to remove this object, this axis that I've constructed in order to analyze the system is what we call a free body, free body diagram, or an FBD. Okay, this is how you analyze forces. You need this one. Okay, a free body diagram is just putting an axis, a coordinatizing your your system. Because before you can solve any system, you must first have a coordinate system. How can you solve for the system without having coordinates? Okay? So, any question? Claro? Okay. Now, let's move to another type of system. The inclined plane. Okay? This inclined plane has an angle theta with the horizontal, and there's a mass at some height, a mass m. And, well, assuming that there is no force, or, before this, let's just have another example for this one. Okay, of course, you have the weight and you have the normal force. Now, suppose that we are applying a force right here, pushing the mass towards this direction. Okay, let's just call this FA. And if the block moves at a constant velocity, suppose that the problem says that when we apply the force FA, whatever is that, it could be 100 newtons or whatever is that. Okay, we applied a force FA, and then what if this one moves at a constant velocity? V is equal to some constant. So here, we need now to analyze along X. It becomes now a two-dimensional problem, right? So the free body diagram now would be, okay, you put your coordinate axis here, and there is your FA. Now, it says that summation of forces, the velocity along x is constant, that means that sum of the forces along x is, what is the force along x? What must be the force along x? I mean, not the forces, but what is it equal to? It must be 0. Because even though it is moving, but then it's moving at a constant velocity, meaning the acceleration is 0. This is in dynamic equilibrium. Okay? It's moving in the x, it's in static equilibrium along y, but it's in dynamic equilibrium along x. So, this is 0. But what are the forces along x? This must be equal to Fa. But then, we know that Fa is not 0, right? It says that we are applying that force. So, it must be not 0. Then, in order for it to be 0, there must be a force countering the Fa. So, there must be that whatever is that force, let's just call it small f. Okay, to make it 0. And that small f right there must just be equal to the applied force in order for it to give a 0 acceleration. Okay? Sabdan? Okay. Now, we will be dealing with this one later. Unsa ni siya? What is this? What might be this force that could oppose our applied force? Okay? This what we call, anyway, it could be any force. But there's a special force that can act, okay, that can act like this one. Okay? Okay, now, suppose that there's no other force right here. Only Fa. It's really that there's no force that is opposing Fa. Then this should not be 0. Okay? So what happens now is that the net force along x, and this is equal to, what are the forces along x? It's only Fa. And this must be equal to, now if there is no opposing it, to equate it, no other force, then there must be an acceleration, right? This must be ma. This is what we do not know, because we know this. Well, of course, in order to know the acceleration, then all we have to do is divide this by m, right? So, maoni actually ang last time, we derived this last time. After this, when you identified the acceleration through the force, in this case, our acceleration is equal to Fa over m. This is constant, right? And this is constant. So we have a system, we have the kinematics involving constant acceleration. Right? We are now in a constantly accelerated system, and we know now how to solve this. Meaning that the next step would be to use our solution, katong upat ka equation of kinematics. Okay? So, okay, before we proceed this one, we can have a clear example for this one. Let's say, okay, we have a mass lying on the floor, and we apply, this is 100 kilograms, and initially at rest, which is initially at rest. And suddenly, we apply a force which is equal to, let's say, 100 newtons on this direction. And let's say there's a force right here which is constant, also 50 newtons, meaning as we apply a force on this side of 100 newtons, there is also a force, whatever is that, opposing us, opposing our which is 50 newtons. The question is, okay, let's say the question is, what would be the distance covered by, what is now the distance covered by this object in 10 seconds? Find the distance, find D in 10 seconds, okay? So starting from rest. Okay, so, well, we know how to solve this in kinematics. We have 4 equations, right? What was the 4 kinematic equations? X minus x naught equals v naught t plus 1/2 at squared. X minus x naught equals v naught plus b over 2t. and v equals v naught plus at, and 2a x minus x naught equals b squared minus b naught squared. Of course, our x minus x naught is just the d in this case in our problem, right? We assume that we start at 0. There's no way, there's no other reason to assume that we could not start at 0. Yeah. So, what we lack, okay, we are given time, t equals 10 seconds. What else? We look for d, and we have v naught, which is 0. We want to find x. But then, in order to use the kinematic equations, the formula, we must have 3 givens. We only have 2. Where should we get the third one? From this dynamics, okay? So we can get the acceleration by just, okay, so we solve the dynamics, summation of force along x equals Fa, so 100 newtons minus opposite 50 newtons. Okay, I'll just put it here. Summation of forces equals 100 newtons minus 50 newtons equals MA. So that A now is equal to 100 minus 50 is 50 over 100. So this is 0.5 meters per second squared. There, we have our acceleration. And we can now use ASA. This one. Okay, so D is just equal to V naught. So this is 0. So 1/2 times, 0.5 times 10 squared. So 1/2, this is 25, tama? 25 meters. Okay? So after 25 meters, it will move by, okay? Okay. Now, what if, follow-up question, okay? What if, as soon as it, okay, here's another question. I'll just erase this one first. After 20 seconds, Fa was removed, okay? After 20 seconds from the start, from the beginning, Fa was removed. Oh, okay, meaning removed, meaning there's no but the 50 newtons, okay, still acts. So meaning, what's the condition here? After 20 seconds, our free body diagram would say that the only force acting is 50 newtons on the left. There's no more force on the right. Sabta ninyo? Okay. So, in this case, are we in equilibrium or not? Not, because there's nothing that opposes this one. So, meaning, okay, at this point, what is okay, let's now the velocity at this point. Let's call this V naught at this point. Our V naught is going padulong dito, right? What happens to the final velocity, to the instantaneous velocity, if we have an acceleration which is opposite to its direction? It will decrease, right? So we are expecting that the velocity after this, the V, will continue to decrease and decrease and until such time that it will be put to rest. That's why object will stop. Okay? So the question is now, how long until it stops? Okay? Now, okay? How long until it stops? Then we are asked for the time. What is the given? The initial velocity, V naught, would be the velocity at this point right here, right? We still have to solve this. We can solve A directly, right? A is just equal to F over M. That would be Net force here is just 50, right? This is negative 50 over 100. So this is still negative, meaning it's going on the opposite direction. It is opposing the initial velocity. Okay? So, we don't have V naught, but we have V, which is equal to 0. We cannot solve X here. Oh, so we must solve V naught. What is this V naught? That is now we must solve the velocity first when it reaches after 20 seconds, right? So let's solve that one first. Okay? What is the velocity? V at t equals 20, right? We will use this equation. So 0 plus 0.5 times 20. That would be 20, 10 meters per second. So now we have this 10 meters per second. What equation will we use? The third one, right? T equals V minus V naught over A. So this is 0 minus negative 50. Okay? Sorry. This is not negative 50. This is 10 over negative 0.5. So this is now 20 seconds. It will take another 20 seconds before it will stop. Sabtan? So here, makita ninyo that it's now combining the two, right? Kinematics. After we solve for the net force, we go to kinematics to solve the problem, right? And again, I'd like to emphasize here that the kinematics is not separate from this one. It's not a separate subject. In fact, these equations came from the solution of F equals ma. Okay? Okay. Now, another follow-up question. Okay? Another follow-up question. What is the distance that it will cover? Okay? What is the distance that it will cover until it stops? Okay. Well, that would be in this context, meaning that we start to, it's a follow-up question on this one. Given this context, so meaning our A is still negative 0.5, and our V naught is 10. And of course, we have already our T, right? Or we can just use V. Suppose that we have not solved T yet. Okay? Suppose that we have not solved the time. Suppose that the question, instead of how long until it stops, the question is, what is the distance that it will cover until it stops? For example, this is just like the projectile motion or the free fall motion or projectile. The time it takes from the ground to reach the maximum height, right? Okay? To reach up to the maximum height. But of course, we are not using that formula. Ako lang siyang gigamit for you to understand that it's just the same. Right? This is just much like the free fall motion, only that our acceleration is along X. Okay, kato along Y. And it's always going downward. Here, the F force, this force right here, pwede ni siya, it could be that this force only acts when it is moving. When automatically, when it's at rest, it no longer acts. We can have that kind of force. It only acts when it is moving. Okay? Or that it could be that this acts also constantly. Meaning that even though it's at rest, it's still acting. Now, let's understand the dynamics of the two in the two cases. Okay, so let's just solve this one first. So, B is equal to final equals 0. So, X, now we will use the third equation, diba? This is v squared minus v naught squared over 2a. So 0 minus 100, right? Over 2 times negative 0.5. As you can see, it becomes a positive, right? So 100 meters. It will cover 100 meters before it will stop. Okay? Suma total pilay na di na lang nakto ikuan. Sabtan ninyo ni siya? Okay. Now, well, it could be that when it stops, as I've said, this force right here, this 50 Newton of force may stop acting. I mean, it only acts when it is moving. Okay, but what happens if it still acts even though it's at rest? What would happen to the block? Pag-abot niya dire, it will move in that direction and then it will stop. And still, since there's still, once it stopped, napagyapoy force, tama? So meaning it will start to move on this direction. That's what happened with free fall motion, right? Projectile on the Y. Tama? Because when it stopped, still, gravity is still acting downward. So that's the difference. Because this force, we can identify is later as the kinetic friction. And the kinetic friction only acts when things are moving. So that, if it acts when things are moving, di ba? When you push something and then it will stop because of friction, mubalik pa siya? No, balik siya. Di ba dili na? Why? Because that kinetic friction only acts when things are moving. So as soon as it will puts to stop, automatically this 50 newtons, whatever, I have not yet introduced the formula for kinetic friction, but let's say in this case 50. It can be it can be solved. As soon as it will stop, this 50 will vanish. So that the net force, what is now the net force? 0. No forces on this side and no forces on that side. So nasabtan ninyo? Okay. Okay. So I think this is now clear. Now let's go to two-dimensional analysis of forces. Let's go back to that inclined plane. You have a mass right here. And let's say the only active force is weight. Automatically, the weight. Ay, colored chalk dire. Yeah, there's a red. Now, if we put the coordinate system right here, okay. Of course, the net force here, what are the other forces? We have the normal force there. That is N. The normal force is perpendicular to the surface, always. Okay? Now, we have two net forces, summation of forces along X and summation of forces along Y. Now, obviously, this block will move through the parallel to the inclined plane, right? Dili na siya muana dito. If weight is the only okay, active force. If that's the case, the thing here is that our axis along X and Y are both not in equilibrium, right? We have equal to, this is MAX and we have MAY because we have an acceleration on this side. We call that A, which is given by AXI plus AYJ. Okay? So meaning we have to solve two accelerations and find the vector. But this is not really that difficult, pero it's actually a messy calculation. Okay? A messy calculation because we will be doing kinematics on not on just X and Y. We know how to do it in one axis, right? Well, of course, if you know how to do it in one axis, you can do it in two axes as long as it's straight. Yes, we can do that. But that would be Very messy because every time we do that, we have two components always to solve. Right? So what we would do is, meaning that this is a bad choice of coordinate system. Not actually bad, but there is a much better choice. Okay? What we will do is this one. This is the block of mass. And we put the coordinate system. We require the x-axis to be parallel to the inclined plane. Meaning that now our axis becomes now tilted. It's a tilted axis. And the consequence of this is our weight now has two components. Ganiha, anak ta, our weight is just here. So our weight is purely along y. But in this case, our weight has x and y components, right? In fact, it's in the fourth quadrant. Tama? It's in the fourth quadrant. And our normal force becomes only a single component force, right? N. But the thing here is that the net force along x, along y is 0. Because there's no movement along y. It's equilibrium along y. Right? So our kinematics only is a straight line, one-dimensional motion instead of a two-dimensional straight line motion. Okay? And it's very, if you solve the kinematics, for example, you want to calculate what is the velocity as it hits the ground. If we do the katong two-dimension, it would be a times 2 calculation, more than actually, because we still have to get magnitude, no? More than twice the burden. Okay? But in this case, we only have along x. So the question here is, suppose that the velocity is at rest here, it's just released, and have it slide down the inclined plane from rest. Okay? The question is, what is the velocity as it reaches the ground if this is of height h? Now, let's analyze this system. Let's analyze the free-body diagram. Okay, summation of forces along y. What are the forces along y? Okay, N is moving up, and then on the downward is weight, but not pure weight. Remember that the weight has two components, right? This is weight x, and that is weight y. So the y components of this force, and okay, this is just vector algebra, right? Na ano nito sa video, if you watch that one, this is just vector algebra. So that's why it's very important that you master that for now, because this is just vectors. Only that time, in the vector algebra, the vectors were given. In my videos, as mapansin ninyo, all the vectors were given. You are asked to find the net vector. Here, we already know what's the net vector. How did we know about the net vector? Because of Newton's laws. What's the net vector? Well, it's purely along x, it's 0 along y. We know the resultant vector. What we want to solve is the individual. Pabaliktad. It's kind of reverse, right? So this is the same. So you have now minus weight y, and this is equal to 0. So n is just equal to weight y. But what is weight y? Okay, now you can verify, and I'd like you to verify this on your own because we don't have time. It's quite, sayo na lang, ato na lang yan, no? We have this configuration, right? Okay. This is the y-axis, tama? Perpendicular to this one. And we have this as our theta. So let's have another right triangle diri. If this is theta, this must be equal to 90 minus theta, right? Tama? So this is pi over 2 minus theta. But since this is 90, this angle, we can call this, this angle right here, let's call that alpha. We know that alpha plus this, pi over 2 minus theta, must be equal to pi over 2, right? 90 degrees. So as you can see, alpha is just equal to theta, meaning that whatever this one is, that is also theta. Meaning that our axis actually, if we go, mao niya tong weight, tama? This is our normal force. Kay basin maglisod mo og baliktad, no? I mean, og tilted. So this makes an angle of theta with the y-axis. Okay? So what's the, okay? So this is now, weight y is, what is weight? mg. And since this is the adjacent, so this is mg cosine of theta. As of now, actually, we don't need to solve along y. We don't need the normal force. But we would be later needing the normal force when we reach the, what we call friction. Because dito magamit ang normal force. Because that friction, okay, that kinetic friction, which acts only when things are moving, is dependent on the normal force. And there's also another friction when things are not moving. Static friction. That also depends on the normal force. But as of now, we don't have use for this. I can solve this without going through y. Because we have no friction. Okay? No other force along it. Only the active force is the weight. Okay. Now let's do it along, let's solve now along x. Summation of forces along x. What are the forces along x? There's only one. It's weight x, right? So this is now weight x equals ma. I no longer need to put ax because we only have one a. Okay? But what is weight x? This is mg sine, right? So that here a is equal to g sine of theta. Okay? Now, what is the given in this problem? The given is mass and theta. That means, and of course, g is always 9.8. It's a constant. Okay? So, meaning that if we want to derive things here, I'm not putting a numbers. It's actually a derivation. We just, or h, so tulo ang given, right? These are the given. Express everything in terms of the given. Okay? So, meaning that we want to find B as a formula that has mass, theta, and h. Or it could be that one of this will be eliminated. It could be, okay? Anyway, let's solve that. We already have acceleration, right? This is already known because this is given and, of course, this is known. This is a constant. So, what else do we have to solve? What is, in our kinematics, we need to know this distance, right? Let's just call that x. Tama? And that distance can be calculated using basic SOHCAHTOA. Tama? Theta, this is x, this is h. So here we know that h is equal to x sine of theta, right? So x is equal to h over sine of theta. Tama? Now, notice here that the mass cancels out, meaning that the acceleration is independent of the mass. It implies here that whether it's a light object or a heavy object, it will always accelerate at the same rate. It doesn't matter. But that would change when there is friction. Because when there's friction, that friction will be dependent on the normal force, and the normal force is dependent on the mass. Okay? So, here, we can use the equation. We now have x, right? We have v naught. V is a known. A is known. Equation third equation, we can use that one. Which is, diba, 2a x equals v squared minus v naught squared. This is 0. So, what is 2a, which is g sine theta, times x, which is h over sine theta equals v squared. From here, you can derive that v is equal to the square root of 2gh. Okay, unsay ni gawas dire? The final velocity or the velocity here at this point is independent of the first. independent of the mass. Meaning that given the same angle, whatever is a light or heavy, they will both have the same velocity at this point. Meaning that they will, they have the same acceleration, so that they will go hand in hand, side by side, and reach at the same point, at the same time, with the same, exactly the same velocity or speed. Sabtan? Same speed. It doesn't matter whether it's heavy or not. Now, the second thing is that this is independent of theta. What does it mean? If we take this one right here, instead of this, we take this theta, or that one, or this one, or this one. This all corresponds to different theta, right? This theta right here, if this is the inclined plane, the mass will just flow. This is theta equals pi over 2, tama? And with its theta, okay, when it's at infinity, straight dito, theta is 0. But of course, that will not move if theta is 0. That means that all of this, whether asa, the final velocity doesn't depend on which inclined plane you are going to traverse. Okay? It will fall through here, meaning if theta is 90, what do we say about implication ani? It's just a free-fall. Tama? It's just a free-fall motion. Okay? And if theta is ana, okay, lain-lain. All of this will have the same velocity at its speed as it reaches the ground, but not velocity. Why? All of this will have the velocity of square root of 2gh as it reaches the ground. Meaning, it's path independent. Later, this path independence will be important in distinguishing between conservative and non-conservative forces. Okay? This path independence. Okay. It doesn't matter. Remember, recall that the only force acting here is the weight. Okay? In fact, the weight here is what we call a conservative force. A conservative force is path-independent force. So later, it will become clear what do we mean by that. Okay? So, pasunod siya dito. But they will have different velocities. They have all the same speed. What is the speed? Square root of 2gh. Tama? That's the speed. But why do they have different velocities? Because they have different directions. Katong diri ni Agi, it's going there. Katong diri, it's going there, there, and so on, right? Will they reach at the same time? No. Okay? This will reach the shortest time. The longer ang ano dito, the longer time, right? Intuition. O, nakuha na niyo ba intuition? You don't need to solve it to know it, right? Okay. So, very good. Nakuha niyo ba intuition, no? The longest the inclined plane, the longer the time. But they will have the same velocity. Meaning that each of these will have different accelerations. Tama? Okay. Now, tanawa, let's calculate the acceleration dire. Our acceleration is always g sine of theta. What is sine of 90? It's 1. Meaning, if theta equals pi over 2, our A is just equal to g. And we have a free fall motion. Okay, when we solve the free fall motion, tanawa, dira, release from a height, initial height, y naught, let's use the language that we know. In the free fall, y naught equals h, right? What's the velocity at the ground? So, 2g y minus y naught equals v naught squared minus v squared, right? This is 0. Tama? And y minus y naught is minus h, right? Because y is, evaluating here, y is 0. So this is minus h, so mag-cancel ang negative, right? So this is just 2gh equals v squared, or v is equal to square root of 2gh. Diba we obtain the same in the free fall motion? Right? Square root of 2gh. Okay? Now, for any of this theta, still, the velocity is square root of 2gh. Okay? But the one will lower angle will reach there a longer time. Because why? Because they have slower acceleration. Note that acceleration is g sine theta. What happens to sine when theta decreases? It also decreases. Right? It also decreases. Now, tanawa, what happens if our theta is equal to 0? That would be, ang inclined plane nato is paana. We don't have an inclined plane already. We have a horizontal surface. Of course, it will not move. So, A now becomes, as monay limit, no? The limit of the A of G of A, which is equal to the limit of G sine theta, as theta approaches 0 is 0. So, simple as that. So, nasabtan. Okay. So, yeah, I think it's time. So, pa-picture sa ako sa kuha na sa thumbnail. O, pa wala ka kanong thumbnail. Kanang nindot nga post. Be? Masay nindot. Ano lang.